One of the biggest stories that came out of the previous Olympics in Tokyo was that Simone had backed out. In that interview that I saw with her yesterday, I could really see her celebrating how far she had come. And that's something I would invite you guys to do, is just take 5 minutes and really just acknowledge where you have come, or how far you have come. For me, what has been really, really important in my musical progression and my healing from my injury is that I am zooming in at the right times and zooming out at the right times. This is the biggest thing that I think that she really exemplified for me in a really beautiful way, was that she did not BS where she was in her process, but she really was able to exercise healthy influence over her progress. You could tell that she had put the work in. If in my injury, all I could do was think about the pain that I was going through or the things I was missing out on, I would try to reframe that. I would zoom out so I could reframe that situation, change my perspective on that situation, work through them, and have a healthy perspective throughout the entire process. The key to that is being able to appreciate the steps you have taken and also be able to look at the future with the eyes of, okay, how can I influence it but not control it? Don't ever count yourself out. Don't ever count yourself out because of your past. Whether that's your injury, mistakes you've made in concerts, we've all done that. Never, never discount your future because of your past. Hey, welcome back to the show, everybody. I was just thinking as I was preparing to record this episode just how much I love doing this. Like I've said in past content, I never thought in a million years that I would be in the world of content creation. I still don't even really consider myself a content creator, but I just love being able to serve you guys in the ways that I have this past season and this coming season. I'm really excited for where the show is going. And a lot of the content that we make here at this show at Trust the Process is obviously regarding injury prevention and injury recovery especially. But today I really just want to share some motivation with you, because whether you're going through an injury or not, life gets tough, right? Especially those of you who are going through injury. You have gone through one of the hardest things a musician can go through. But what I want you guys to hear today from me, don't ever count yourself out. Don't ever count yourself out because of your past. Whether that's your injury, mistakes you've made in concerts, we've all done that. Never, never discount your future because of your past. At the time I'm recording this, the Olympics are going on in Paris in 2024. And one of the biggest stories, if not the biggest story coming out of the Olympics, is that of Simone Biles. And Simone has quickly become one of my heroes as I've watched her in this Olympics. I've never really watched the Olympics until now, but her story has really intrigued me over the last couple of years, especially now that I've gone through an injury myself and had to back out of things that I loved so dearly for the sake of my health. So I could really relate to Simone, at least in that aspect. And yesterday, she was doing an interview after she had just completed the stretch of gymnastic events for this Olympics. She's done for this Olympics, at least. And in this interview, I could just see how the work that she had done on the mental side of things had just benefited her and made it so that she could really enjoy what she was doing again. And that's what's one of the things that she articulated in the interview, was that because of the inner work, the mental work that she's done, the therapy, the mental visualization, and many, many other things, that's what's made it so that she can really, really enjoy the process, if you will, right? And I kind of, after that interview, I was so inspired, I wrote down a bunch of notes of what I was feeling, and I just wanted to share those with you, because I feel like sometimes we just need a little shot of motivation, and this was that for me. One of the biggest stories that came out of the previous Olympics in Tokyo was that Simone had backed out because of something that she called the twisties. And I'm not an expert in gymnastics, but basically that made it so she felt like she couldn't do her craft safely. And after seeing what she's done in gymnastics, I wouldn't want to even attempt to do what she did or she does if I didn't know 100% that I was going to be okay, or at least 90%. And she got a lot of flack from the public, from the media, from just trolls who had nothing better to do than just make fun of her or whatever. But in that interview that I saw with her yesterday, I could really see her celebrating how far she had come. And that's something I would invite you guys to do, is just take 5 minutes and really just acknowledge where you have come, or how far you have come, and in your journey, whether it be from an injury or just in your progress as a musician or as a human being. Just acknowledge how far you've come and celebrate it. Allow yourself to celebrate your wins. One of the coolest things for me that I watched Simone do this whole past week was that on the sidelines, I guess they're sidelines in gymnastics, she was talking with her teammates, she was smiling, and then when she got ready to do her event, her face just changed like that, and she was just locked in, ready to go. And after the event, she was smiling as big as I've ever seen, right? And for me, that just kind of taught me a powerful principle that we'll dive into in another individual episode, but that is the principle of zooming out versus zooming in. For me, what has been really, really important in my musical progression and my healing from my injury is that I am zooming in at the right times and zooming out at the right times, because I feel like something that contributed to my injury from a mindset standpoint or for perspective standpoint is that I was zoomed in all the time, right? I was hyper-focused, neurotically focused even, on the process, when even though that is good to do at some times, I should have zoomed out and appreciated how far I had come, appreciated the work that I had put in that day. And not just when things are all go my way, but even when one thing went well that day. And if I couldn't find anything that went well, or if in my injury all I could do was think about the pain that I was going through or the things I was missing out on, I would try to reframe that. I would zoom out so I could reframe that situation, change my perspective on that situation. So zooming in for me means just focusing on the process and getting super analytical about the different things that you can change to optimize your performance. But zooming out is really what allows us to enjoy the process, right? That's how it's been for me. We'll dive deeper into that in a future episode. Hey guys, hope you're enjoying the show. I just wanted to jump in here real quick and tell you about something that I'm really, really excited about. For a while now, I have wanted to create an even more effective resource than just the podcast that injured musicians can go to receive the support that they need. And recently I did just that. So write this down. Trust the Process Podcast Injured Musician Support Group. I know it's a long title. We're still working on that part. But this is a place where people can go now, injured musicians and even musicians who have gone through injury in the past, and people that help musicians go through injury, where they can go to receive the support that they need, whether that be ask questions, share their victories, share their frustrations, and overall just receive the community and the support that they need in a very proactive, intentional way. And so I just ask that you guys support these injured musicians by sharing this group with them, that they can receive the support that they need. Okay, enjoy the rest of the show. The other things that I noticed about Simone that I just think have so much to do with musicians going through injury and recovering in a healthy way. One of the other things that was blatantly obvious as I was watching was that she has a very strong support system, people around her that are not going to just tell her how great she is, but support her when she's not feeling her best, and support her when she fails. There were some moments where you could tell that she wasn't super pleased with her performance, but everyone was still cheering her on and helping her to keep going. A support team, there's study and research done that show that support systems help athletes go through injury and recover in a much more optimal way from their injuries. And I don't see any reason why that's not the same case for musicians. This is the biggest thing that I think that she really exemplified for me in a really beautiful way, was that she did not BS where she was in her process, but she really was able to exercise healthy influence over her progress. You could tell that she had put the work in. And I want to acknowledge for you guys, I want to acknowledge the work that you're putting in into your craft, into your recovery, whatever the case may be. The key to having an optimal recovery, I'm not saying a fast recovery, an optimal recovery in which you are allowing yourself to feel the feelings, work through them, and have a healthy perspective throughout the entire process. The key to that is being able to appreciate the steps you have taken and also be able to look at the future with the eyes of, okay, how can I influence it but not control it? For me, that's just a huge thing, and that's what I've seen with Simone. So we dove a little bit into the athletic world a little bit today, but I really hope this has been a beneficial episode for you. I just feel so inspired and motivated by these incredible athletes and incredible musicians that I see every day that are working hard at their craft, working diligently on becoming better human beings and healthier and more fulfilled human beings, most of all. For me, all these things, all these mindset, perspective things are very, very powerful tools in keeping ourselves healthy and can be looked at from the lens of injury prevention and injury recovery, optimal injury recovery. So keep on keeping on, guys. I think about you all the time, how I can better serve you and create more content that is best going to help you in any way that I can. If there's any way that I can help you, or if you want to share your experiences with me or things about the show that you love or that maybe you'd like to see more of or less of, shoot me a text in the audio descriptions of the episodes on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and wherever else you see show notes. On the audio versions of the podcast, you can send me a text. There's a link right at the top that you should be able to click on. And so keep on keeping on, guys, and keep trusting the process. Hey, before you go, we need your help with something real quick. Somewhere out there's a musician who is going through an injury or just a tough time. There may even be an educator with a student in that situation that they don't know how to help. We need your help in getting this message to them. Would you do them the favor of sharing this episode on your socials and with your friends? Also, cliche that it may have become, leaving a rating and a review actually does help people find us, not just boost our ego. So would you take a quick second and leave us a review so that musician can find us more easily? If you want to reach out to me personally, I would love to hear from you. Just look for the Send Us a Text Message button in the show notes of the episode. You can do that on any episode on your chosen podcast platform except YouTube. If you have a suggestion for a guest or topic to cover, shoot me an email at trustprocesspodcast@gmail.com or send me a message on Facebook or Instagram. I want to extend another heartfelt thanks to my team, without which this podcast would not be able to happen. Thanks to Daniel Baldwin, our audio engineer, Kevin West, our music and sound effects coordinator, and Dana Lovell, our promotional materials coordinator. So to all of you out there in podcast land, keep on keeping on and trust the process.